Yeah, I'm good. What's that one? Oh, you can go say roll call there. Ready? Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. We'll start with District 1 for roll call.
Paul Foster for Miles Davidson, District 3.
Brian Mon, it was properly posted on April 29th, and our prayer and pledge was going to be somebody that thinks stuck in traffic. And so, is there somebody else, or you want me to do it?
I believe yes, come on up. Mr. Barnes.
David Barnes.
Thank you, sir. Let's pray. Father God, we're again truly grateful for the opportunities that you give us. I thank you for the opportunity to serve others, Lord, here at Oklahoma County and in other capacities. Lord, we lift those up who are being adversely affected by the significant weather events across the state, and in other areas, Lord, and Lord, particularly those who have suffered loss. We just ask that your comfort would overwhelm them and your presence, Lord, would be felt by them. Be with the responders, the crews, all those who are helping deal with the adverse issues, Father. Just protect them, give them strength and wisdom. And Lord, I pray for our commissioners and other elected officials and their staffs and the county family today, that you would just guide us in being diligent in our duties. Father, just help us to look to you for wisdom and ask for your guidance in all decisions. We love you, praise you, and ask all this in the name of Jesus. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, David. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of April 23rd?
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve the claims?
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opening of the bids.
Good morning. This is for G25003 opioid abatement grant for maternal care. We received 3 bids. First is from the Board of Regents from the University of Oklahoma Health Sciences Center. Next is the Recovery Center. And Treatment Services Center. And that concludes the bid opening.
Thank you, Ashley.
Okay. Is there a motion that be tabulated and returned?
I will motion. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 No
Any change to the blanket? No change? Is there a motion to approve the blanket?
Motion approved. Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Is there any individual consideration on the consent docket? If not, is there a motion to take it as a whole?
I will motion. Go ahead. I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We have a number of people to sign up, but I'm making sure it's not on any of these items. District 1.
Where are we at? 17.
Commissioner Lowe, would you like me to explain our items?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Item 17, Commissioners, is a agreement with the Middale Public Schools for assistance at Carl Albert High School with access roads for their stadium. They will reimbursing the county 100% for this work.
Motion to approve access road reimbursement. I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Items 18 and 19, Commissioners, are the FY26 GMAs. 18 is with the municipalities within District 1. 19 is with the school districts that are in District 1.
Motion to approve general agreements, contracts.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Item number 20 is motion to authorize the county treasurer to temporarily use the space that's being vacated by purchasing on the 3rd floor. This is necessary for their to store some necessary files and other storage materials that they have while that current space is being remodeled in the ICB. Now, it is my understanding that Commissioner Davidson and Clerk Treat have agreed to make this flex space. I have talked with the clerk's office, and they're in agreement to temporarily put the treasurer's items in there after they have completed, their employees have
Yes.
completed moving out down to
Right.
the 2nd floor.
Yeah, Marissa just wanted to make sure that it was after we get vacated.
That's it.
Okay.
I'll motion to approve. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. 21 is to retroactively appoint Keith Block to the retirement board from March 1st of this year for a full term serving until the end of February 2029.
And he's traditionally been a District 2 appointee. Does this make him a appointee of the chair?
I would assume so.
So does that
Does
mean
that
the
mean
District
Miles-
2 spot
Miles
is vacated?
Yes, as far as I know.
Okay.
So maybe that's something we need to clarify with Commissioner Davidson.
Yeah, just Keith's an institutional person on that board for sure. Nothing against him. I'm just trying to figure out what we need to do with District 2 now. Okay, is that your motion?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And a happy deal, number 22.
22 and 23, and I have the distinct pleasure, first of all, of introducing Kimberly Frank, who's the principal at Heritage Elementary School in Edmond. She's going to tell us a little bit about Taylor Belote, who is here with her. She is a 3rd grade teacher who is being awarded Edmond Public Schools Teacher of the Year. Congratulations. And unfortunately, we do not have Colleen Grindstaff with us, who she will also speak about. But Colleen is being awarded the Edmond Public Schools Support Employee of the Year.
Very good. Thank you so much. It is my honor to introduce an exceptional educator. She exemplifies dedication, innovation, and a deep commitment to student success. Her students absolutely love her, and her current students and her former students. She goes above and beyond in the classroom, inspires her students and her colleagues alike. With a passion for teaching, a heart for service, and a track record of excellence, I'd like to have Taylor Balloon. He's honored today.
Thank you so much. Teaching is, so much more than just a job. It's a commitment to nurture the potential that we see in kids and help build their confidence. So it means so much to me to be recognized for a job that I love so much. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations. I'd like to get a picture. Get these signed here real quick.
Care to motion it?
Yes, I will motion approval for both these items.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Just a moment here. One more.
Assessor? Gretchen? Are you speaking to this? Or Mike? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I just saw you walking around. It's all right.
Good morning, everyone. I bring good news to you this morning through a possible claim for rebate of funds in the amount of $410,000, $720.87. First of all, I'd like to give you a little bit of a background on how this is all coming about, as this is something that is new for us as well. That the assessors across the state of Oklahoma use a appraisal system, a software system known as CAMA, which stands for Computer Assisted Mass Appraisal System. Some 4 to 5 years ago, the state was looking at replacing the system that over 60 county assessors were using across the state. It was becoming an antiquated system, was over 40 years old, and was really becoming quite troublesome for them. So the state was looking for a way to take revenue to replace this system. As a result, this was pushed into place that a portion of revenue stamps would be collected by the tax commission and pushed to the university or the Oklahoma State University through a program known as CLGT, which stood for Center for Local Government Technologies. That group oversees the county assessors training program, accreditation program, and they were deemed as the control source in acquiring a new appraisal system for those 60 plus county assessors. As a result, they went through the bidding process, selected a vendor, and those counties that did not utilize that system or did not go with that system, it was put into place for them to be able to ask for a rebate or a refund of up to 10% of their contributed funds. So there's a provision that once the balance gets to a certain portion, I believe it's $2 million, that the university ask those counties if they're willing or wanting to file a claim. It is a rollover, so there is not an annualized piece where it goes away. So Oklahoma County has a 3-year roll-up, and that contributes to the $410,000. And it's our understanding that this money will be coming back to the general fund for the county, where it could be used for any general purpose. And I'm sure that there will be discussions that BET or through the other budget process as to where this fund will be allocated or possibly used.
Very good. Is there a motion?
Motion approved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Engineering.
Item 26 is our project on Luther Road across the Canadian River. It's a District 2 project. This is a claim of Pinnacle Management Services for their work on helping us purchase the right-of-way. It's for $4,000.
I'll move the item.
Second. Oh, go ahead.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Open public hearing.
Okay, and now we'll have an opening of a public hearing. We'll move to do so.
I will motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, this is a public hearing to discuss the vacation of a piece of right-of-way that we came to own in 1962. Could you put the map up, please? It is west of Air Depot, north of the Hefner Road. It's really at the half section line, and it extends west to the center of the section. It's on this map up here. The intent back in the 60s, near as I can tell, was if both sides would give 30 foot, the county would build a half section line road through there. We never got the other 30 feet on the south, and the road was never built. So it's just an easement that's sat idle for almost 70 years. So we don't have any need to keep it. The landowner right at Air Depot, depicted in the blue, had already been to the city of Oklahoma City to have that easement vacated. And then since have the deed to it, we're following up on that. But while we're also taking the opportunity, because that's only 660 feet, we're taking the opportunity to go all the way to the center of the section because we do not need to own or maintain this easement or have the liability of it. So there may be people in the audience for or against this. That's why the public hearing. So I'll be glad to answer any questions if you have any more about it. And the attorney representing the case is with us today, Paul Lefevre. If you have any questions, again.
Well, is there any public here to weigh in on it one way or the other? This is your hearing. Seeing none, is there a motion?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Do we need to close the public hearing?
Yeah.
Okay, and then is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion to close the hearing.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 27.
Okay, this is an ODOT programming resolution for a bridge in District 3 on 178th Street. This is how a project basically gets started. The total cost is projected now at $2,800,000, and we'll have obviously a percentage share of that cost as we move forward.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
28.
The next item is a change order with Flint Co. for our behavioral care center. It's really changing out some plan sheets now that the design is completely done. There wasn't a lot of changes from the preliminary design to the final design, so there is no cost or no increase in time associated with this, but just to make the plan records official, that's what we're doing here.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
29.
29 is back to our project over the Canadian River on Luther Road. It's a claim to purchase a parcel number 10, from the owner, and it's $750.
I'll move the item.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And the next item, because the purchase price was so low, we couldn't get a lien waiver from the bank, who maybe owns part of that property. So you can get an unattainable lien waiver in these situations, and that's what you're signing off here.
I'll move the item. Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
HR, our employees of the month. Dane, are you presenting on their behalf? Okay, go ahead. Or we'll hold that to the heel of the docket in case they're coming later. MIS, go ahead.
Good morning. It is contract renewal time. 32 is Rimini Street. I would actually like to strike this item this week. Our DBAs came to us yesterday as we were talking about it, and we see maybe an opportunity to redo this contract for something less, if not outright, get rid of it altogether. So I would like a little more time to reevaluate that before we push this and get it across.
Motion strike.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, 33 is a scanner for the DA's office. This is a routine renewal.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, 34 is the Munis support and Munis application for financials. Also routine, albeit an expensive one.
Is the county utilizing all the services that are listed in that contract?
I'm sure not. I'm sure there are parts that we probably aren't. That'd be a better question for our applications team, but I'm sure there are probably components that we don't use.
Do we anticipate using them? I'm just wondering if there's any way to cut the cost on that if we're not using the services.
That'd probably be a better question for those that use it. I mean, we sort of hold the contract and pay the bill, Paul, but I don't know that I can really intelligently answer that one for you. But it's worth a question.
You want to hold this over until you have time to go review it? Commissioner Lowe seems like he wants to.
Is that going to be a problem?
Yep.
At all?
No, these are usually due July 1st, so we
Okay.
we get started fairly early with them.
Then I would motion to defer this item.
Second.
A little more investigation.
Excuse me? To next meeting.
Yeah, until the next meeting, sorry.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Dane.
Right. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then Eric.
Yes, item 35 is a final plat that was heard by the Planning Commission back in April. And so the final plat is located off of Northwest 234th and County Line Road. It consists of 9 lots. We're just asking that the final plat be approved so that it can be signed and filed with the board, or I'm sorry, filed in the clerk's office so they can begin selling lots. The Planning Commission unanimously approved this item at the April Planning Commission meeting.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The next item is a release of an erosion control bond for a subdivision that's located in District 3 off of Northwest 206th and County Line Road, just east of there. The county, when it comes to erosion control bonds, we hold those bonds for a year after the final plat has been approved. They've continued to maintain those items, and so they just requested, since the year time frame is up, that we return the bond to them. The bond that they've utilized includes the maintenance for the road itself. So I just want to be sure that this bond that we're giving back to them is just for the erosion control only. And the road maintenance bond is something that we'll look at in the future when it comes time for that bond to come due.
Motion to release. Motion to approve the release.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The last item is a zoning change. This is located off of Northwest 192nd in Portland. This is currently, there is a gas station that is there with a convenience store. The property is zoned industrial, and they're requesting that the zoning be changed to a PUD. The PUD itself would just cover the convenience store and those shops that are there. They want to add a retail fireworks stand to the property there to allow fireworks sales in June and July timeframe, and towards the end of the year, December and the beginning of January. Besides that, it would not change anything else as far as the uses that are allowed there currently under the industrial zoning. The only change would just be allow fireworks.
Isn't there one just north of that location already?
There is. It's a separate piece of property, different owner. But yes, it is a similar, it's a PUD similar to this that does allow retail fireworks. So there is one there in the area that is similar to this request.
It was passed unanimously.
Yes, that was some time ago. That was back in at least 2000.
That's incredible because they're controversial. But it's your district. It's your pleasure.
Different property owners, I'll go ahead and motion to approve.
Second.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item 31 that was moved to the hill of the docket, I understand they wish to have it deferred till Monday. So is there a motion to do so?
Motion to defer.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And when you said you wanted to defer the other item to next week, so we're meeting on Monday, is that still sufficient for next week's meeting for your earlier motion? Just wanted to make sure. Commissioner comments, District 1. Nothing? 3?
Nothing from District 3.
Any new business? We have a number of citizens who've signed up for citizens participation, so if it's all right with you, we'll go ahead and hear them before we go into executive session. Superintendent Brad Richards.
Good morning.
Morning.
I apologize. I have some rough notes I just finished. I'm the superintendent at Crooked Oak, and here to talk today, and I'm very, very biased. I'm here only for our kids. I definitely care what you do, but I have a perspective to protect our school. I want you to understand a few things when we talk about land swap and purchasing land. We have 10 acres off of Southeast 22nd that borders the grand site where you intend to build the jail. In September of 2023, we purchased property 10 acres from the city of Oklahoma City. We don't even have room to build a track. We're excited. We get architectural plans. We demolish buildings. We spend a ton of money in anticipation of putting our sports facility there and upgrading. We passed a $25 million bond issue in September of 2023. And then soon after, as you guys know, it comes up that we may have a jail next door to us. I started coming to these meetings and speaking up against that, and my main argument there was, and still is today, it's very unfair to put a jail on the backs of poor minority students, which our school is. Said that several meetings. I was approached outside these halls, and a gentleman pulled me aside and said, "Hey, would you ever consider a land swap?" And I said, "Well, it depends. We can talk about it." So we talked about it, and there was a possibility of the Allen property, which I know is on your agenda today, would be purchased and we would swap property. I understand that's not legally binding. However, I would say, and Commissioner Lowe, I know you weren't here at the time, I spoke to each of the commissioners in detail, very much, in great detail about that. I was never told at any point, by the way, I won't support this, I can't support it, I won't vote for it. Then fast forward to the jail goes there. I expect something to happen. You know, I've been in the media personally and taken, to me, I would even wonder maybe a beating for some of you guys, taking some of the burden, because it's even been rumored that if Crooked Oak says no, then the jail's not going to go here. Well, if that's the case, please let me vote on your board as well. So I come to the meetings, I was approached, and I guess the distaste that I want to express today is, with everybody knowing, it looks like I was really duped. Because now we get into the negotiation phase, and I find out that not everybody's for it. And I hear the reasons, I'm going to call them excuses, and I can cover some of those for you. and that is that, number one, Crooked Oak doesn't have the money to build facilities. Well, in school law, that's quite different. You can look at anybody's bond issue that passes. It's a phased effect. You always put more than you're going to be able to afford. That's just how it is. And if you know, at that time in September 2023, prices skyrocketed. So yes, we won't be able to build everything that we had. We will be able to build a significant portion of it. Here's the ironic part. How does that even make sense when you guys are about halfway there on the jail? You don't have the budget. But for me, that becomes a reason that you can't swap land. I think that's totally bogus. I was told that it was illegal and that we had people on the board had talked to the district attorney. I called the district attorney. Guess what she said? She hadn't talked to anybody on this board. So I don't know. Somebody's not telling the truth. So it was illegal. It's too much money. It's this, it's that. And keep in mind that the law is now 1,200 feet from the school property. I think we're 1,240 feet. So we're talking about 1,240 feet difference to even be legal. And I can promise you this, if we can't get something going, I've encouraged people, we will talk to the legislators and try to get the 2,000 feet, and hopefully we'll beat you before you start the jail, and you guys can dump the grand site and go somewhere else and start the process again. I'm nervous, so I babble a lot, so you guys will have to forgive me. I've even heard, when it's talked about illegal, I've sent you guys information that is not true. I have somebody that is a specialist in land stuff. Happy to provide the name and attorney. That is not true. That it has to be value for value or acre for acre. That's not right. I've given you examples of other people in schools where they swap properties with municipalities. This is not unheard of. I understand it's money. It's a lot of money. But when you're talking about a roughly $500 million project, it's not that much money. And here's what I'm going to say. Are you guys just all about business? Now, if you were all about business, you probably would have put the jail other places too. But there are ethical and moral concerns, and I think our kids deserve better than that. At the very least, I would expect you guys today, until you can research and find out more, until I can meet with the new commissioner. I know we have an appointment May 7th. I would ask you guys to at least table this. This is honestly, ethically, morally wrong. I understand you guys can legally do it, but it's not right. And you guys are making that decision today if you vote to not purchase that property, which I do think the public ought to know, or I assume that you guys are going to be losing a significant amount of earnest money. Now, how does that calculate into this idea that we're already in the hole anyway? So thank you for your time.
Laura Knight.
Hello, I'm Laura Knight. I'm the high school principal at Crooked Oak High School. And you guys just heard Mr. Richards. He obviously knows more about this than I do on the technical aspect. But what I ask is that you really do consider it, because we have games at this field all the time. We have kids that go back and forth. We have athletics during 8th hour where the kids travel from our campus to their campus. And having it right beside worries a lot of our parents and our kids who we absolutely care about and want the best for. So taking into account our kids also, because they are your future constituents and their parents are your constituents, just please, again, keep them in mind and do what's best for them.
I want to see if I pronounce this right. Is it Dazer Horton? Okay, apologize.
I'm Deja Horton. I serve as the Dean of Students of the Crooked Oak High School, and I have even less information about what's going on as far as the jail swap and the land. I'm just here solely to speak on our students. I don't think that it will benefit them to have a jail facility so close to our stadium. Our kids deserve the very best, and I don't think that that's in their best interest. So that's all that I have to say. Thank you.
Chance McCaskill.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm the assistant superintendent at Crooked Oak Middle School principal. This is my 6th year that I'm finishing up there. Started my career at a young age at Crooked Oak. Grew up small town, Elmore City, small town, Oklahoma. Never would have dreamed I'd have been in the inner city school district and enjoyed it as much as I had. Our kids deserve the same as any other kid in Oklahoma County or in any county. None of you up here would want your kid to walk to a football field within 1,200 feet of a school or 1,200 feet of a jail without either you with them or a teacher with them at all times. You have kids that play football and soccer behind football fields during games. All of you have seen that, I'm sure. You know, what's going to happen with those kiddos that enjoy that fun at each and every game? It's a family matter. And to put a jail within 1,200 feet of a place that students love and enjoy, parents love and enjoy, I think is just wrong on many levels. And I think you need to consider at least tabling the agenda item you have until at least Commissioner Lowe has a chance to meet with our superintendent and think this all through for the sake of the kids.
Laura Flores.
Hi, my name is Laura Flores. I work at Crooked Oak Public Schools. I am the Special Service Secretary. I've been working at Crooked Oak for 6 years, and I say that placing the jail next to fields will be very dangerous and unpleasant to see. And also, I feel like our parents will not allow their students to play sports due to this dangerous and participation for their kids. So I'd like for you guys to consider that and hope that you guys change your mind. Thank you.
Stephanie Stroud.
Good morning. I am Stephanie Stroud, the Director of Special Services for Crooked Oak Public Schools. I am also a middle school soccer coach, a bus driver. I do many, many things there, and I've been there for 24 years. I have seen the school go through a lot of ups and downs in 24 years. So in that time, I have seen so many improvements come to our school, not just facilities, but what our parents have come to expect. The fact that over at least half of our district are transfers tells you how many people want to come to our school. I will tell you this, if a jail gets put there, my middle school soccer program is just going to die. It will. Those parents are not going to want those kids there. Have you ever been around a 12-year-old boy? Do you know how hard it is to keep them right where you tell them to only run with the ball? They're going to kick the ball further. What if it goes too far? What if? That is not okay. It's just not. This needs to be tabled. We need to consider our families. We need to consider the fear that they're going to have and the fact that the Reliance Center, which is a home for individuals with severe and profound disabilities, is right there as well. Okay, we get students from there. These are students that cannot advocate for themselves in any way. Most are nonverbal, non-ambulatory. How are they supposed to speak for themselves? I think this all needs to be considered and this needs to be tabled if at all possible. Thank you.
Tracy Morales.
Good morning. My name is Tracy Morales. I'm the family coordinator for Crooked Oak. And as I'm thinking about the family members and they're trying to block this jail, and so are we, I'm thinking about in today's day and age, the racial profiling that's happening to anyone. And, you know, most recently we saw that raid that happened with U.S. Marshals, FBI agents, and ICE officers. And it's not that we don't want our children to be protected. It's that we also want our families to not have to come to school with fear or around our campus because they could be citizens. We saw that. And still something could happen to anyone, right? So now to have to walk around with a passport, with driver's license, do I have to have my children's birth certificates to be able to prove something? And then to bring a jail? Like, where is the integrity? And I just think it's so disgusting to come to our campus and ask our kids what they want to be when they grow up. But then to throw something as atrocious as a jail in our neighborhood is so inhumane. So I really ask you to table this because it's not fair. There's plenty happening already. Our families don't deserve that. Thank you.
I have two separate clumps of signatures for citizen participation. And Brad, you signed up again. So is that for a separate meeting, or did someone sign up on your behalf? Okay. Well, I just wanted to be sure it was for this meeting and someone hadn't done. April Bennett, did you want to speak for this meeting or a separate meeting? Okay, go ahead. I apologize because you were ahead of the others, but I didn't know about the clumps.
It's okay. I understand. Hi, I am April Bennett. I work at Crooked Oak. Been there about 8 years. This, and I know you're new, Representative or Congressman, not Congressman anymore, Representative Commissioner Lowe, but I want to back up a little bit. And Brad did talk about our story. We have worked, so we have state champions at track, and we don't have a track. Going back to 2019, trying to find property, being turned down over and over and over again, and then we finally get the property. We passed the bond issue, and then hearing about the jail. I want to speak about the jail and the fact that I understand that you guys have done a lot of research. I understand it needed to go somewhere. I understand that the current jail situation is not humane and that the city is working to resolve that issue. My concern would be to work with you guys and continue the process of trying to find a somewhere in the middle meeting that if we could get our students closer to us and away from that site, everybody could benefit. The other benefit is that if our property goes to you guys then have that greater access to use that to develop as you see fit for whatever happens on 22nd Street. I tried to reach out to you, Commissioner, when you were still in the House. I believed you would win the vote of the people and be our new commissioner. So congratulations on that. I did try to call your office multiple times and email you because I was hoping to speak with you prior to seeing this agenda item. I am sad to see this. If you have maybe there's another resolution that I'm unaware of that would fix this for our students and give our students access to the facilities we need. We've lost so much through this process, through buying property we feel like we can't use, doing renovations on property right now we feel like we can't use. We have passed a bond issue that we have not moved on, and all that's happened in that time is inflation. So what I could have built over a year ago, I can't build today. It has affected our bonding rating and our financial capacity. And at this point, I owe it to the people of Crooked Oak when they passed a bond issue to build them something that looks like what I presented back in September of 2023. There has to be a better solution in this, and to see this item on an agenda was heartbreaking. So I hope that there is a better plan in place and that we don't know what that is, but at this time I would ask that decision be tabled. I appreciate your time.
Ms. Barrington?
Hello, I'm the school board president for Crooked Oak, and several months ago we had been told that you had approved the transfer of the land, and we voted on it in our meeting in good faith. Now to find out that you're not going to approve it is very disheartening. all I have to say is I hope that you reconsider and do what is best for our students and get them away from where the jail's going to be built. I mean, I'm in that area too. It's not good for anyone. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
There are other citizens to speak. Seeing none, is there a motion to recess into executive session?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Session.
Motion to return.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. On item 40, is there a motion to defer that till Monday?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And item 41, is there a motion to file the claim and or petition and pay the claim on moving that to federal court?
I'll motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, if nothing further, is there a motion to adjourn the commissioner meeting?
Motion adjourned.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Wonder how bad the flooding is out here where we talked about after the last 24 hours. There's, I'll tell you in a minute. Are y'all in?
I am.
Okay, I'll call the Public Building Authority together, all three roll call.
Jason Lowe, District 1.
Paul Foster from Miles Davison, District 3.
Brian Mon, all notices were properly posted on April 29th. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of April 23rd?
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Now is there a motion to approve the claims?
Can we hold on 1 second? Commission.
Yeah, Sharon, I'm getting the same thing. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I'm getting it. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Okay. Jeez. Yep.
Are you in? Okay.
Okay.
Do we need to go back on number one?
Nope. We're good.
You got it. Okay. Very good. Item 2, is there a motion to approve the claims?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. We have April Bennett signed up to speak.
One last thing that I forgot to say earlier, and I apologize. Me again, April from Crooked Oak. I got to go to your swearing in, Commissioner Lowe, and it was a wonderful ceremony. There were lots of school kids there with a band, and there was Kip Elementary, and they did this adorable presentation. And I would just like to say, if you were going to call one of those family members from Kip Elementary and tell them, hey, I want to let you know we're going to put a jail within 1,000 feet of where your students play, I guarantee you they'd be here. They would be here. Unfortunately, our families aren't here. They're busy. They're doing the best they can to feed their families. That was just the last thing I wanted to say, so thank you.
Other citizens to speak? Okay. There is an item requested by Commissioner Lowe, District or number 3.
Yeah, thank you. Before I move to make a motion, I'd like to thank the speakers today. I understand your concern. I understand the issue as far as the jail. It's been an ongoing issue. But my job as a county commissioner, I think everyone's job here, is to be good stewards of taxpayers' money. So $6 million is a lot of money. I understand we would lose the earnest money, which is $250,000. But I would rather have $5.7 million than lose $6 million. So I move to rescind the real estate purchase agreement between Allen Contracting and Oklahoma County Public Buildings Authority.
Did you want to comment?
Counter motion?
Sure.
Yeah, I move that we,
No, there's already a motion on the floor. I just was asking if you wanted to speak. You acted like you wanted to say something.
yes, I don't happen to agree with Commissioner Lowe on this. However, I am not the commissioner. That's why I was asking about the counter motion, because I would like Commissioner Davidson to be present here today. I think we should defer consideration on this item until all commissioners can be present. I think it's in the best interest of both this body and the constituents we serve to have all commissioners here and to be able to fully participate in the discussion and the decision-making process. That's my only comment.
You have a thought about that?
And I understand your position, but I believe time is of the essence as far as making a decision on this matter. So
if I can ask, how do you believe that time is of the essence? We have been able to postpone the closing for 2 weeks, so that gives more time to discuss that.
My position is time is of the essence, and I do not second that motion.
Closing's been postponed.
Yeah, I've got a verbal agreement from the other side that they'll postpone it for 2 weeks. They'll follow it up with a written document for you to approve. I don't have that in my hands right now, but I do have an email from them.
So do you want to continue this even if it doesn't change the outcome? Correct. Because of course I've been against it all along. My reasons just similar to Commissioner Lowe. Also, when we put this out and requested for people to submit parcels, those came in before the Crooked Oak bond went out. It was a number of proposals. It was a lot of them to be vetted, but the Citizens Committee quickly elevated this one as a site to consider. And so it was proceeded upon with the assumption that we just wouldn't go there. And I didn't try to go there. I was actually exploring a donated piece of property, which is also next to a school. And as the engineer plotted out, virtually all the some 28 parcels that were submitted are next to a school. How close to a school is pretty arbitrary. If you're a parent of a child that goes to that school, it's close enough. And so that issue just couldn't be the one that was considered because it was emotional in every case, and I understand that. However, I was also just around the jail this weekend with the Arts Festival, with the Memorial Marathon, and no one was particularly concerned, and there were lots of children around, and I believe that we're designing this to be a safe structure and that will be not a harm to public safety. And so I continue to be against it on the basis mostly that we are just not solvent in being able to fund the entire jail. And while $6 million doesn't shore up the gap, it's not a nugget that you can find just under any given rock. And that is going to be a difficult climb, and $6 million will certainly help. I regret that the earnest money will be lost. I voted against this all along, including for the chairman to sign his signature, which blocked it last week. So I'll grieve over that for sure, but it's not just $6 million. It's a 30-year bond, which will come out to just underneath $12 million when it's all paid off. And that's just money that could be used, not that it was otherwise intended, because it had been originally sold for remodeling projects around the campus here, which of course have been sidelined in the event to take the money for this particular purpose. So that I was opposed to also, because I've always said this is our lifeline, and if this is what we have to rely on for some comfort on money, that is all we've got without having to go back to public vote for additional funds. I'm sensitive to allowing the commissioner to be here to speak on this item. I know this wasn't his call to have this here at this time. He's at national conference, right? And so I will mean it, but just so you know, I believe Commissioner Lowe has made his intentions clear, and mine has been consistently clear. And unfortunately, with regards to the school board president who's here, this was voted on 8 days before Commissioner Lowe was to be sworn in. And there's a change of administration, and this hadn't been wrapped up before he was to be sworn in. It's unfortunate this couldn't have been waited on until 8 more days till you arrived, sir. And so I didn't think that was good either, but I'll be amenable to let Commissioner Davidson come in here and speak on this, but I don't think it'll change the outcome.
I would like to add, if it does not change the outcome, I will be also agreeable to Commissioner Davidson being here as well, and to be able to speak on this. I was not aware he was out attending a conference, so that's new information for me.
And representing Oklahoma County.
And representing,
so it's
so
official
I do
business.
not have a problem with him being here and expressing.
Will he
his
be here
viewpoint.
Monday? He will. So is that okay? Just put it on Monday's agenda. Okay, have you withdrawn your motion or? Okay. I appreciate your consideration to that and for your pointing out that he's at a conference.
I'll
With
make a
that,
motion to defer this item until Monday.
Second.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any citizens other than that to speak? Board comments beyond those? New business? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye.